broadcasting from the center of the universe and the Thrive15.com world headquarters. It's the Thrive Time Show.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the conversation. For many of you who have heard about the Thrive Time Show, you found us on iTunes or you found us on Stitcher, or maybe a friend referred you to us for the first time. Welcome to the broadcast. What we do on the Thrive Time Show is we provide you with business school without the BS. And I'm excited because I'm going to let Marshall Morris lead the way on today's topic. We have Marshall Morris. He's he's the co-author of the best-selling Amazon bestseller called Start Here. Again, it's the Amazon bestseller called Start Here, which you can get today for free. You can download it today by simply going to thrivetimeshow.com, and you can download the book there. But Marshall, before we get going, tell us why it is important that we determine our weekly break-even and goal achievement numbers and not maybe a yearly goal.
I believe that business is a lot like sport. Business is a lot like war. And between sport and war, you got to keep score. And so if you're not keeping score, then how do you know whether or not you're winning or losing, whether you're profitable or losing money? You got to have some type of identifier for where you're at in the business.
So Stephen Covey would say, though, to you, he would say, begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey, this is the best-selling author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He says, begin with the end in mind. You're saying keep score. How do those two relate? How do you keep score while beginning with the end in mind? How does that relate to the business owners?
Well, if you are actually keeping score in your business, you got to identify what is that end goal. How many points do you need to score? How many sales do you need to do? How many widgets do you need to sell? How many services do you need to book in order to get to your goal? So your break-even point is the point in your business where you are bringing in just enough money so that you're not earning a profit. Okay, you're not at the end of the month, you're not bringing home any money, but at the same time, you've broken even. You're making enough money to cover all of your hard costs. You're covering all of your expenses, so you're not making money, you're not losing money. So number one, you've got to know how many deals you need to book in order to break even. The second number that you need to know is, based on your goals, your F6 goals, how much money do you need to make in order to achieve your goals?
When you say F6 goals, Chup, can you break down what the F6 goals are? I think we have some listeners who are tuning in for the first time or maybe need a little refresher on what. Because Dr. Zeller and I fundamentally believe that your life isn't just finances, but your life can be broken up into these 6 F's. There is a secret F, which maybe on a future show we'll go over. But
more podcast
Chup, walk us through the 6 F's.
So we've got your faith. F1 is faith. The next, family, friendships, fitness, finances, and then the 6th one that Dr. Z, he kind of sprinkled into Clay's life, made him partake in that a little bit, is fun.
So you want to make goals for yourself today,
right?
For the following 6 areas. Make goals for your faith, make goals for your family, finances, fitness, friendship, and fun. Now, after you do that, now you kind of have a goal here. You know, okay, this is what I have to hit per week to achieve my goals to fund the life I want to live. Now, Jack Welch, the CEO of GE, who grew the company by 4,000% during his tenure, he says, you've got to eat while you dream, Marshall. He says, you've got to deliver on short-range commitments, Marshall. He's saying Marshall a lot. While you develop a long-range strategy and vision and implement it. The success of doing both, walking and chewing gum, if you will, getting it done in the short range and delivering a long-range plan and executing on that. So, Marshall, action item number 1, we need to write down on a whiteboard in our office the total number of deals we need to break even. Why do we have to do that? Why? How does that keep us focused on the short term while we also focus on the long-term goals?
Well, there's 2 parts about this action item that are important. Number 1 is you need to know on a weekly basis how many deals that you need in order to break even. That's the first part. You need to know what that number is. It has to be a very specific number. The second thing is you got to put it on a whiteboard. It has to be visual. You have to be reminded of it. Everybody in your office needs to be reminded of it on a weekly basis, because until you hit that goal, until you hit that number,
But I don't want
you're going
write
to
it on,
lose money.
I don't want to write it down because I feel like every time I write down my goals on a whiteboard, they don't happen, and the office is like humiliated. And Chop, it's depressing. You know,
Well-
you just put it on the board. You're like, oh, I didn't do it again. You know, it's like not. I don't set goals. You know.
I like Marshall's metaphor for the scoreboard. Now, one thing that is super important when you have a scoreboard is that you actually have to look at it. So that would be my answer to you, mister, over there.
You know that the only difference between a metaphor and a petaphor is that the one tastes better. Ooh. That's just deep thoughts right there.
Wow.
All right, so the next action item is you got to write down on your daily to-do list that you carry around the number of deals you need per week to break even.
Carry that to-do list around.
You got to have a whiteboard, but you got to have a to-do list. And Marshall, why do you have to have it on a to-do list you carry around and not just on the whiteboard?
Because your to-do list is going to go with you everywhere that you go. And if you don't have a to-do list, create a to-do list. You need a to-do list and carrying it around because this is going to be the constant reminder. You're going to see the action items, and the action items, if you execute upon those daily, then you will ultimately get to your goals.
Bro, I want to use like Slack or some like time management app, bro, because there's so many awesome apps out there, bro. It's like, I don't want to have like a list, man. I don't want to be confined to like paper.
Well, you know, you got to do that because all of the most successful people in the world create a to-do list.
Bruh, but like, I don't really care about successful people. I care about like Ty Lopez.
Then this is probably not a good radio show for you.
Nice. Okay, so the next move is you want to write down on a whiteboard in your office the number of deals per week you need to achieve your goals. That should be the big kahuna. The big kahuna.
Why are you doing all of this? Why are you embarking on the crazy journey of owning your own business?
To kick some butt, man. To dominate. To win.
And so you got to be motivated by something. What are those big goals in your life that you were working towards?
Can we have a campfire talk real quick? Just the three of us and the video guy real quick.
Kumbaya.
Yes, let's do it.
Is it not fun to see more and more people attending the in-person workshops?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Is it not fun? Is it not pretty exciting, Marshall, to know that we don't have to go to Nebraska anymore?
Oh, but it's South Dakota.
Is it not fun to not go to San Diego? Is it not? I mean, for me, I was so tired of traveling all the time. It's fun to see people from all over the world attending our workshops.
Yeah.
And you know why that has come to fruition? Of course you do. Because we're part of the triumvirate. Because we talk about it all the time. Because it's constantly a reminder. We talk about it all the meetings. We're constantly growing the podcast. We're growing. The goal is to mentor how many people, Marshall?
Millions.
Not to mentor minions.
Oh, ooh.
I want to make sure we get this because I've thought about this a lot. The other day we had to let somebody go, and they said, I thought your goal was to mentor millions. And I said, my goal is to mentor millions, but not to mentor minions. And he says, excuse me? I said, you won't do your to-do list. You don't show up on time for client meetings.
Strike two.
You don't have the tenacity needed to get anything done.
Swing and a miss.
Our goal is not to mentor people we have to babysit. But there's real business owners out there like Delricht.
I got a super win.
Oh, come on.
So Delricht this week, it's awesome. They've been hitting their financial goals. They told me on, it would have been Wednesday of this week, they said for the or Wednesday of last week, they said, for the first time, we are completely independent of our business.
Yes.
Completely, 100%.
Soak that in.
100% independent of our business. We have all of the time freedom to go with our financial freedom, and now we can reinvest. Thank you so much. And that is like an awesome personal win for me, and I am so excited for them. Big shout out to them because they've been working towards this for years. Not months, but years.
I'm just going to ride that emotional high as we go into the break. When we come back, more about breaking even and goal achievement. Stay tuned.